Your brain feels slower after 25, and you've probably blamed yourself for it. You forget names faster. You need 2 coffees, where one used to do the job. You walk into rooms and forget why. But this isn't laziness, and it isn't the beginning of the end. It's biology, and once you understand exactly what's happening inside your skull, you can actually fight back. Here is every reason your brain feels slower after 25, explained. Your peak is behind you, and nobody warned you. Around 25, your brain finishes its final wave of development. The prefrontal cortex, the region behind your forehead that handles planning, judgment, and self-control, only fully matures in your mid-20s. For your entire life until this point, your brain has been building, wiring, and expanding. Then it quietly shifts gears. It stops growing and starts maintaining. That single change is the root of almost everything you feel. Your brain isn't broken. It just switched from construction mode to management mode, and management is slower. Processing. Speed starts its slow decline. This is the big one. Processing speed is how fast your brain takes in information, makes sense of it, and responds. Scientists can measure it, and it peaks in your late teens to mid-20s, then begins a gradual descent. This is why a 15-year-old destroys you at reaction-based video games without trying. The signals in your brain physically travel a fraction slower. You don't notice it day to day, but stack up enough tiny delays, and suddenly conversations feel faster than you. Decisions take longer, and you feel a half step behind the version of yourself you remember. Your myelin starts to wear down. Your neurons are wrapped in a fatty insulation called myelin, and it works exactly like the coating around an electrical wire. Good insulation means signals fire fast and clean. After 25, your body slows down how quickly it repairs and maintains that coating. The wiring is still there. The connections still exist. But the signals travel with a little more resistance, a little more static. Thoughts that once snapped into place now take an extra beat to arrive. It's not that the information is gone. It's that the road it travels on has more potholes than it used to. Your neurons stop multiplying like they used to. As a child, your brain created new connections at an explosive rate, millions of them, constantly. That's why kids learn languages effortlessly and absorb everything around them. After 25, that fire hose slows to a trickle. Your brain becomes far more selective about which connections it keeps and which it prunes away. This is actually useful. It makes you efficient, focused, less scattered. But it comes with a cost. Learning something brand new no longer feels automatic. It takes deliberate effort, repetition, and struggle where it once took none. Dopamine drops, and your motivation drops with it. Here's a reason almost nobody talks about. Your dopamine levels begin declining after your mid-20s, falling steadily by roughly 10% each decade. Dopamine is the chemical of motivation, drive, and reward. It's what made everything feel exciting and new when you were younger. As it fades, the world gets a little less shiny. New experiences don't hit the same. Motivation that used to appear on its own now has to be manufactured. That flat, unmotivated feeling you sometimes get isn't a personality flaw. It's chemistry quietly recalibrating. Chronic stress is silently shrinking your focus. This is where modern life makes biology worse. Cortisol, your stress hormone, was designed for short bursts of danger. But adult life delivers it constantly through work, bills, deadlines, and endless notifications. When cortisol stays elevated for months and years, it damages the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory and learning. Studies show chronic stress literally shrinks this region over time. So when you can't remember why you walked into a room, it might not be aging at all. It might be that your brain is drowning in stress hormones. It was never built to handle around the clock. Your sleep changes, and your brain pays the price. In your teens and early 20s, you fell into deep sleep easily and woke up restored. After 25, the amount of deep, slow-wave sleep you get begins to decline. This matters enormously, because deep sleep is when your brain does its cleaning. During those hours, a system flushes out waste products that build up between your neurons all day, including proteins linked to mental fog and long-term decline. Less deep sleep means less cleaning. You wake up with yesterday's mental clutter still sitting in your head, and everything feels heavier and slower before the day even starts. Now here's the part that changes everything, because most of what you're feeling isn't actually aging at all. Your lifestyle is aging your brain faster than time is. Here's the truth. Researchers keep confirming. A huge portion of the slowdown people blame on age is actually caused by how they live. Around 25, life quietly shifts. You stop learning new things constantly. School ends, routines lock in, and your days become repetitive. Physical activity drops. Screen time explodes. You spend hours consuming content that requires zero deep thinking. Your brain, following its core rule of use it or lose it, responds exactly as designed. It trims the abilities you've stopped using. It's not that your brain got old. It's that you stopped giving it hard problems to solve, and it took the hint. Your attention span is being actively destroyed. This one isn't aging at all, and it's the most dangerous. Every swipe, every notification, every 15-second video trains your brain to crave constant novelty and instant reward. You're teaching your own mind that focus is optional and boredom is unbearable. Over time, deep concentration becomes physically uncomfortable. You reach for your phone the second a task gets hard. That inability to focus you blame on getting older? A large part of it is a habit you've built, thousands of tiny times without ever deciding to. The good news, hidden inside, that is simple. A trained habit can be untrained. Your body and your brain are the same system. People treat the brain like it floats separately from the body, but it doesn't. It runs on blood, oxygen, and nutrients delivered by your heart and blood vessels. After 25, if your fitness drops, so does the blood flow to your brain. Less circulation means less oxygen, slower thinking, and faster mental fatigue. This is why people who stay physically active often stay mentally sharp for decades. Every time you get your heart rate up, you're literally feeding your brain. Neglect the body, and the brain starves in ways you feel as fog, forgetfulness, and a mind that just won't fire. You stopped challenging your brain, so it stopped growing. Your brain has a superpower called neuroplasticity, the ability to physically rewire and strengthen itself based on what you demand of it. This power never fully disappears. It just goes dormant when you stop using it. Children have it in abundance because everything is new and hard. Adults let it fade because they settle into comfort and routine. But the moment you start learning a difficult skill, a language, an instrument, a complex subject, your brain reactivates that machinery. It starts building again. The slowdown you feel is partly your brain sitting idle, waiting for you to ask something of it. So here's what all of this actually means for you. Yes, some slowdown after 25 is real and unavoidable. Processing speed, myelin, dopamine, and deep sleep genuinely change, and no habit reverses that completely. But that's only half the story, and it's the smaller half. The vast majority of what makes your brain feel slow isn't time. It's disuse, stress, terrible sleep, a still body, and an attention span shredded by screens. Those aren't sentences handed down by biology. They're conditions you created, which means they're conditions you can change. The people who stay sharp into their 40s, 50s, and beyond aren't genetically lucky. They kept learning hard things. They moved their bodies. They protected their sleep. They gave their brain real problems instead of endless scrolling. Your brain after 25 isn't a machine winding down. It's a muscle waiting to see whether you'll still use it. Feed it, challenge it, rest it, and move for it, and it will stay fast far longer than anyone told you it could. So the next time you forget a name or feel a step behind, don't panic and don't blame your age. Ask yourself a better question. When was the last time you truly challenged this brain of yours? Because the slowdown you're feeling might not be your brain giving up on you. It might be your brain waiting for you to show up. If this made you see your own mind a little differently, subscribe, because understanding how your brain actually works is the first step to taking it back. Then go watch the next video, where I'd break down exactly how to rebuild your focus from the ground up. Your sharpest years might still be ahead of you. You just have to decide to fight for them.